Welcome everybody to My Child, My Voice Parent Connection Show. I'm Wendy Gonzalez-Neal.
And I'm Shea Mackin.
Today is Thursday, October 8th. Oh my goodness. Can't believe we're in October, enjoying this cooler weather.
I don't know. It's not cooler. I'm still in Texas, Wendy. I don't know about you. So,
Well,
like in the morning, and it's like supposed to be 100 degrees on Sunday.
Okay, that's over you. Over here, it's like 80 something, but then it cools down at night. So that's what I'm talking about. Over here in Houston. But I am so excited about the guests that we have on today, and I hope everybody else, because there is a new virtual school in town. And we are excited to not only talk about that, but bring in two other special guests afterwards. So why don't we welcome our guest?
If he comes in, he's coming in from... Oh, that's it. There's all of our guests. Good.
Right.
Hey, Curtis. So, Curtis, you are with the Great Hearts Charter Schools that are mostly in San Antonio, correct?
I am. Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be here. I work with Great Hearts. We have schools in San Antonio, Irving, and Fort Worth, 10 schools across the state. And an 11th school, Great Hearts Online, which is what we're talking about today.
Yeah, okay. For everybody who is watching, I've been kind of watching Great Hearts. I live in Austin, so there's not a Great Hearts charter school close to me. And I've heard amazing things about Great Hearts over the years. And I just found out that Great Hearts is now opening a full-time online Great Hearts school. So I was super excited and made sure that we got Curtis on our show to let everybody know about this amazing opportunity for kids across the state to go to this very well accredited charter school.
Yes, I'm excited to hear more about that, especially in Houston. We don't have a Great Hearts, but I have heard a lot of good things about Great Hearts. So I'm excited to know, especially now that you're able to expand that to the state of Texas. So Curtis, let's get to talking, you know.
Right.
So what's your philosophy or mission statement with Great Hearts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shea, I appreciate you asking that, because it in some ways is what differentiates Great Hearts from any other school. Our core purpose is to cultivate the minds and hearts of students through the pursuit of truth, beauty, and goodness. That is a higher calling. That is a higher bar we are striving toward. It is about forming and cultivating kids to love noble things and pursue truth and to become good and to live good lives. And on the way, we also happen to run incredibly high-performing schools. But it's a deeper calling, and it's a higher calling, and that's what we're all about.
So I think it's Great Hearts will be opening a new full-time online public charter school. What made you do that? I mean, you have, you're where you're at now, your brick and mortar. What made y'all to decide to do an online public school?
So the primary motivation and reason is we have a lot of families on our wait list who we cannot currently serve. And there's a lot of families across Texas who regularly reach out and want to attend a Great Hearts school and want a classical liberal arts education and we can't meet that need. And on top of that, there's families who want more flexibility in their life. There's families who want to be more deeply involved in their child's education and how they're growing up. And online presents an opportunity to do that, to do it in a different way, to do it in a way that is specific to what that family wants and needs. And so Great Hearts Online is about removing traditional barriers for access to a great education. And that is our primary motivation, is to partner with families, to serve students, provide a great education to kids in partnership with families in a way that we couldn't do before. And so we're excited about taking on that challenge and working with families to make it a reality.
That's how Great Hearts kind of, in my opinion, looks outside the box of what has become the traditional school model.
Mhm.
and you guys, kind of go back, you rolled it back more to that classical education, where a lot of families, that's what they're missing in their day-to-day school down the street. And maybe they thought that was happening in their school, and as now their kids are distance learning, they're realizing that's not really what was happening.
Mhm.
um, Hopefully they realized that earlier, but for sure now a lot of them are going, okay, wait a second, the school is not maybe teaching in the way that I was hoping that they would be taught.
Yeah, we designed pillars back when we started to make sure that we stay on mission. And one of them that I just really love, and I'd love to read it here. Liberal education consists of cognitive, emotional, and moral education, thinking deeply, loving noble things, and living well together. We believe at Great Hearts, along with Plato, that the highest goal of education is to become good intellectually and morally. And that's what we're all about, and that's the bar we're setting ourselves towards. I think the other side of this is, like the rest of the country and world, we were thrown into teaching remote,
Mhm.
teaching distance, teaching online. And what we learned is that I think in the spring, this is on our website. If you go there, 88% of families were satisfied with how that went. And that was with 93% of families responding. And
Wow.
that those numbers only went up when we resurveyed again in September. And so, we listen deeply to families about what is and isn't working. We have a really strong curriculum and model and program, and we're excited to jump into this feet first.
That's
Yeah, I,
great.
I feel
I was
like you
just going
guys
to add that.
go ahead, Wendy.
I'm sorry. I was just going to add for the people that are watching, we did put information about Great Hearts as you're listening to the questions that we're putting on there, that if you want to apply, you can, or just to read about who Great Hearts is if you're not familiar with this public charter school that is now online. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Shea.
What I like about Great Hearts is I feel like it educates the whole child instead of just the brain part
Mm-hmm.
of the child. It's educating with morals and the heart of the child. So it's an extension of the family, right? And now you're bringing that into the home as an extension to the family, which is just beautiful to me.
In some ways, Great Hearts Online is an extension of our mission, right? Because we believe we do this work in partnership with families. And that partnership only needs to get stronger when someone is attending school in their house. And so, it's something that we're excited to work through. How do we strengthen that partnership with families? How do we listen better and learn more and communicate really strongly so that those partnerships are strong for the short term and for the long term?
That's great. I mean, I think the question, and I think everybody says, especially parents, trying to support their kids in the remote learning, and they're so new at this because now, they're trying, even though the schools are reopening. My question is how will Great Heart support parents with their kids in school with this type of new learning? How do you support the parent, and then how do you support kids who are still not used to, this online learning?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great question. We're working through these things right now, but I'd love to start to share what we're thinking that will look like. So one part of this is how do we get the right size class sizes? So as we're working through schedules, and all of our schools have schedules, and families have given really good feedback in that. It's really important as a parent, as a grown-up, to have a schedule for your kids that is clear, and you can
Mm-hmm.
navigate, and you can help them be set up for success in it. And we're going to start off our days. Our plan now is to start off our day with a homeroom in small groups to help kids organize. Well, what's coming up at what time? We need to teach self-management behaviors. We need to teach time management skills
Mm-hmm.
to increase and scaffold independence for kids, right? That's going to be a really important part of it. And that's a habit. That's a lifelong habit that's essential for any kind of future success, right? We need to be able to communicate those schedules and those assignments in a clear and easy way to students and to parents, right? As a parent, I need to know when my daughter has a major assignment and what next week is going to look like for her in advance. Because if it requires me to shift some things around, like I need to plan for that, right? Families need to plan for those things. So communication is a really important piece of this. We also know we need to do onboarding. We need to teach and educate kids. Here's how you use Zoom. Click on and off your mute button, right? How to access different platforms and tools. And we need to teach all those things to parents as well, so that we can develop those strong partnerships. So we are starting Great Hearts Online on Monday, January 4th. But in the 2 weeks in December leading up to the holiday break, we're going to have a flexible prep week. We're going to be teaching lessons to kids, having students get to know their teacher in small groups. We're going to have lessons and conversations and meetings with parents to start to form online communities, to start to teach how do you access these tools. Let's help you download X and Y, Z app. So we're going to, our goal is for everyone to go into the holiday break excited about going to school. I want kids talking over the holidays about, I can't wait for Monday, January 4th, but there's a lot of work we have to do in order for that to be a reality. And that's what we're striving towards, to make that a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So being an online school, will everything be 100% online all day with their teachers?
No. We'll have asynchronous recorded lessons that will be online. We'll have synchronous lessons that's live online. There'll be independent work. But the other important thing to us at Great Hearts is staying grounded in the real, staying grounded in the concrete. And so students will learn phonics and phonemic awareness, but they're going to use a pencil and a piece of paper, and they're going to be writing with their pencil and paper and shaping letters. While that content will be delivered via online, they're going to be using a pencil and paper to do that work and then take a picture and turn it in, right? We're going to deliver math manipulatives to kids because they need to understand ones, tens, hundreds to build number sense, and starting with the concrete, the real thing itself, is the best way to ground that concept, which is the foundational concept of mathematics. And so we are developing right now, what's our list of supplies that we're going to ship to parents, right? A leaf, right? You can teach about, biology, and then you can say, go outside and find a leaf and draw it and diagram it and start to break down and understand, what does that look like? And how does that fit in with the biology and its purpose? So no, not everything will be online. Some will be online, some will be materials, some will be in your house, in your home, and in your neighborhood. And we're also starting to think through how do we form online communities and in-person communities? Mm-hmm. How do we start to form, for people who want it, monthly gatherings to bring together and form hybrid online and in-person communities, so that those layers add up to build relationship and to build trust and to build community for kids and for parents.
So I think the next question, and I'm excited, pretty much everybody would probably ask the same question, is when can parents, actually start enrolling their kids, and what grades are you offering for the online schools?
Open enrollment starts next Tuesday. It is, I'm going to get this date wrong. It's the 13th, Tuesday, October 13th. So we just announced that last night at 5 on we have a weekly Facebook Live event. But next Tuesday, October 13th, the enrollment is open. You can go to that on our website, the website that you shared, Wendy, before, under the enrollment tab, click there. That will become active on Tuesday, October 13th. We're going to be enrolling grades 2nd through 6th. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's based on parent interest lists. So we have over 600, 500 families who signed up for the interest list and kind of told us what grade levels their kids fall into. So we use that information to really drive what grade levels are we focusing on. in our first semester. This is really just semester 1, although it's semester 2 for us all as families, as parents. And then that we plan on growing those grade levels served in years to come.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Curtis. We know that
Yes.
you're very busy starting a brand new school.
We all are in life, but yes, it's a busy time. Wendy, Shea, thank you so much for having me today.
No, thank
I
you.
look forward to the continued conversation. And now on to the real stars of the show, Inga and Annika. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on there.
Curtis. Yes, so Annika is a student of a Great Hearts brick and mortar school. And then Inga is a mom of Annika. And so she's a mom of a Great Hearts school. So we figured, you know, what a better thing to do when we're talking about this new Great Hearts school than to bring a student and a mama.
So let's bring them aboard. Hello. Hi, Annika.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, ladies. Looking good.
Yes.
Look the same. When I look at the camera, I'm like, wow, we look more similar to
You guys really do look very similar. And I see you have the is that your Great Hearts uniform shirt on?
No, I didn't notice that. Is that?
Oh yeah, and she has her patch, her house patch too. They have. Well, so we'll talk about the house system, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna ask.
Oh,
So what grade are you in, Annika?
I'm in 5th grade.
and then when did you start at Great Hearts, Annika?
Yeah.
I think 2015.
So like 3rd grade? 2nd.
Kindergarten.
Oh, okay. Apparently I can't.
Mom's checking up on her. Mom's looking at her like, "Are you gonna?"
When did you start? Your whole time. So have you gone to a different school or just Great Hearts?
Just Great Hearts and a different preschool.
Oh, okay. Yep. Makes sense.
So are you currently doing the school in person or are you distance learning?
Distance learning. I'm just looking at Zoom from a laptop.
Yep. Yep. So how's that going for you?
It's going pretty good. There's lots of people, like some people just have no video. There's quite a few people with video. Some people are just like, every time there's like a big pause, someone's like, hello.
Are they there?
Well, you want to talk about you were doing about reading Lyceum and like what like a good time in, well, you know, because they, okay, I don't want to interject too much, but I asked her like what was like you know, something that she felt like worked well, even though it was distance learning, because like I mean she loved being on campus, but yeah. So you want to tell that story?
During reading Lyceum, they talk about questions about the book. And the book that I'm reading is Voyage of the Dawn Treader from the Chronicles of Narnia series. It's a good book.
Yeah.
That is a good book.
You seem excited about that. So your mom mentioned about the house system. So tell us about that at your school.
So the house system is like Harry Potter, except it's Chronicles of Narnia themed. Of course.
So what's your house called?
The house is called the Pevensies. The Pevensies are supposed to be some kids. There's some rulers of Narnia.
Oh, that is so neat.
That is
And then
cool.
Wendy, you were all excited because you had helped earn points for your house, right?
That's true. For distance learning so far, you earned some points by doing a Jeopardy. It's very nice Jeopardy about history.
That's awesome. So the house system is both in person and during distance learning, right?
Yep.
And then what are the points get you? Like, what do you earn points for?
Like trophies and bragging rights.
Well, just like Harry Potter.
There's like leaders for the houses, right? There's teachers who are leaders, and then there's artifacts, right? Like there's
Yes.
yeah.
For Pevensies, it's Susan's arrow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the like during reading Lyceum, and you guys were talking about the book, and like you got to like, you know, help answer a question. I think that was one of my concerns was like, can they still participate even distance learning, and they still do. So I don't know. Can you tell about that? Am I embarrassing you? I'm sorry.
Yes. Do you remember what they said?
How about you tell us what you like best about your school, whether it's
Yeah.
in person or distance learning? What's your favorite thing? You love your school because whatever.
I like the people at school, like the teachers and the students.
Do
They're
you
very nice.
feel like it's a good community then?
Yes. No what else to say.
Do you feel safe at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty safe. Yes.
That's
Do
good.
you do any like activities at school, like exercise before or after school?
Well, I guess so there were clubs on campus, right? And then there's you want to talk about like what clubs you liked when you were on campus?
When I was on campus, I did an art club and I did a chess club.
Wow. Very
And then
challenging.
and then while we're doing distance learning, this is kind of a mom thing. It's like we always do some exercise before school starts. It's kind of our tip. It's like, you know, how to make distance learning good is like make sure you get the wiggles out before, right?
Oh, get the
You got
wiggles out.
exercise.
Yeah, you want to talk about what we do for exercise?
Yeah. Let us know.
You can just name so many, it's going to take a while. Watch I name them. Watch I just name a few.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Well, what's your favorite exercise?
Maybe wall sits.
Wall sits.
Yes.
Although I think she likes
Oh,
the
wall sits.
yeah.
I like awesome. That's a good like calf. Are you getting like buff calves now, Annika? From the wall sit?
I need some long legs. Like I'm
Yeah.
almost as tall as you.
That's true. Yeah, she's 10, but she's a tall girl. Yeah.
Well, Inga, I have a question for mom. It's what made you look at moving your kids to a charter school instead of your assigned school for your children?
Yeah, so I we in our family there's 2 kids, so Annika and then her big brother Nicholas, and so she's in 5th grade, he's in 8th grade, and he's on the autism spectrum, and so we live in a neighborhood that has good public schools that work for most kids, but even really good schools don't work for all kids. And so for my son, I wanted to make sure that there was a place where he would be included, and there would be high expectations, and there'd be a lot of structure. And so we were able to find all of those things at Great Hearts. And I'm convinced that he is much more successful at Great Hearts than he would have been either at our neighborhood school or also I tried homeschooling for a year and it was okay. But like, I'm really glad to have the help from the teachers and the curriculum that they bring. So just to get that extra support, extra mentorship, good role models.
That's awesome.
So being a parent at Great Hearts, because you're the parent, what do you appreciate the most from Great Hearts or about Great Hearts?
You know, it's especially during distance learning, I'm so thankful for the teachers because they are putting forth so much effort to make sure that, you know, like all the things that Curtis talked about the principals and how they want to shape the students. Like, I mean, the curriculum is coming through even through distance learning. And they, like, I really wanted my kids I want them to like read real stuff, right? So like my son, the 8th grader, like they're reading original text like about American history, and they're putting themselves in the shoes of the people who lived, you know, 200, 300, 400 years ago, and what the dilemmas were that they faced, and things that might seem shocking to us now, but it made sense to them at the time, why they did that, you know, what those conflicts were about. And they're dealing with the really tough questions, and it comes through in their class discussion. And, you know, he's becoming this thinker. He wants to express himself, you know, he wants to grapple with these ideas, and that's shaping him to be a kind of independent thinker that I want him to be.
That is great. I think it's with Great Hearts, you know, Curtis mentioned they're a classical education model. I mean, what have you seen that has benefits for your kids having that model?
You know, I remember when I first heard that there was such a thing as a classical education K through 12 like free charter school. I was like, really? This is a thing? Like, how can I bring this to Texas? Like, this is amazing. And it's something where, like, I mean, I remember looking at the books on my dad's shelf and thinking, like, yeah, this is the good stuff. And then, like, I chose my college so I could get a liberal arts education. So I went to Trinity University and I majored in history because I wanted a broad liberal arts education. And then the idea that my kids could get introduced to that in K through 12 and like read those texts, and it's just, the curriculum is fearless. Like they will, nothing, like yeah, and they read so much and they get such a good grounding in things like, so like, well, Annika used to sometimes correct her teacher in first grade on the phonics. Annika got really good at the phonics, but like they're really good at things like spelling and the handwriting, the math facts. Like, I mean, it's just such a solid foundation that I feel like it's going to open doors for them wherever they want to do down the road.
So what do you think about this new online Great Hearts school, and are you excited about it or are you apprehensive? What are you thinking about this idea?
Well, I think it's great because like I have friends who've been like literally, okay, so the campus where my kids go, Monte Vista, it opened in 2014. I have friends who literally have applied and gotten waitlisted every year since it opened.
Oh,
which is discouraging. And
mm-hmm.
So there's thousands of families on the waiting list, and some of them will get the chance to participate in the online learning. And people who don't live in the Metroplex or San Antonio, they'll get access to Great Hearts. And like, I have a friend of mine who's like, I've always wanted to move to Alpine, and now my kids can keep going to Great Hearts from Alpine. It's like, well, right? Oh, I can move to Barfa, right? There you go.
So true.
Right? I mean, there's small towns that are great places to live, but might not be able to support an entire charter school on a particular subject. And so online education, like, it delivers that. And then I can see for my son, there actually are some advantages to online school because he's not distracted by what's happening in the classroom. So, I wanted to be prepared for the real world and for be able to deal with distractions. But, like Curtis said, there's a time management, kind of self-management skills that kids learn in distance learning. And he's made a lot of growth on that lately.
That is awesome to hear, especially for both of you and Annika and then your son, especially, how it's benefit them in a fun way.
Yeah.
I love the house thing.
Yes.
That's like my favorite thing, Annika. Now I think in my house I should have houses for my boys. That's
We should have
for
one.
points. Yeah.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity. Anybody that's watching, like I've mentioned before, we have put the Great Heart information so that if you're interested in either applying or just wanting to have more information about Great Hearts, we have included the link on there so that you can check them out. They do have information sessions, so it's a great time to check out when that is so that you can find out more about the school. And Inga, if anybody has a question, maybe they want to talk to a parent, how would they get a hold of you if you would like to reach out?
Yeah, so I'm the manager of the San Antonio Charter Moms discussion group on Facebook, and I'm a Great Hearts parent. I'm in the group. I'm one of the admins, but there's lots of members who have kids at the brick and mortar campuses, and they've been doing, some of them are on campus now, some of them are still doing distance learning, but they could talk about, and that's like, I mean, Great Hearts it's a very high quality school, but classical education is different. And I encourage families to, like go to the info sessions or talk to friends and, find out what those differences are so that you kind of know what to expect, just, learn what some of the expectations are. But once you learn more, if you find out, you're like, I think this is the right fit for my family. So I encourage people to like sign up for the interest list, so they can get those updates about Great Hearts Online. And, because open enrollment is kind of a narrow window, and you want to get in there when it's the right time.
Well, thanks, Inga and Annika, for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. Especially sharing your story, Annika. I loved it. You were great.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Great job on your first interview, Annika.
Yes, great job there. High five to you.
Thank you, ladies. I'm sure we'll talk later, Inga.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And then as a reminder to everybody watching, early voting does start on October 13th for Texas. Please go out and vote. Make sure you're ready to vote. If you're interested in spreading that awareness of voter education, please join us at National Parents Union and make a pledge to vote this election So you're welcome to go to our National Parents Union website and make that pledge, and also to download our toolkit that would be very beneficial in spreading that word on how, to spread about the importance of voting. It's a very simple toolkit. And if you're also interested in becoming a member of National Parent Union at that same website, you can go there and apply on our website to become a member, and it tells you some great information, as well as we would love to hear from parents. If you have a topic you'd like for us to talk about, or if you'd like to join us on the show, please reach out to us. You can either reach me at wendy@npu.org, and give us some information out. Or if you hear about a new school, let us know. We love spreading that word, right, Shea?
Yep. It's all about giving parents education and tools to use for their children to get them the best education and things they need in life. So that's what our show's all about.
And so I'd like to invite everyone to watch and join me and Shea on our next, we are doing our segment of Kid Connection. We do this every Monday, so please make sure to watch out for that on Monday. And also I like to say that National Parents Union is having what they call a family clap back for our first National Parent Union virtual town hall. This will be on Facebook Live on Thursday, November 5th at 7 p.m. Central Time for us Texans. We will make sure to have that link included in the comments, so you're welcome to join us. We encourage everybody, if you want to hear what, parents spoke, we are now listening. We're talking about the polling that we did, and we have our special guests coming on, not only parent activists, but we have, Arnie Duncan coming in on the show as well. So we hope that you come and connect with us on this great family day or night, really. Thanks everybody for watching.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Have a great day. Bye.